This is a homemade budget chocolate cake.
This is a homemade expensive chocolate cake.
Yep, welcome back to another cheap versus steep, where as you've just seen, you've just time travelled, we are doing chocolate cake.
And who doesn't love a chocolate cake?
I'm not saying we go like Mrs. Barry Bogtrotter on this, but like, hey, I'm quite excited today. You guys have already seen what it looks like. Hopefully that's a nice little appetizer, but it's all about the ingredients, and I'm thinking we might get different colours today.
Okay.
That's it, the rules are very simple. I went out to a budget supermarket and an expensive supermarket. The ingredients side by side. We normally shop in the budget supermarket, so I normally look forward to that sort of shop, although the security guards do follow me around because I'm sort of doing all the maths. All right, first up, we have got, this is the cheap butter that I've just tried to cube as best as I can. This is £2.39 for 300 grams of butter. We will be using more for the buttercream. So there's nothing too fancy about this, it's just butter. And this one is the steep, which is actually £4.43 and looks actually kind, maybe slightly yellower. Yeah, oh yeah, it is. Wow. So we've got another pack of this just to show you, but it was called like regenerative butter. Do you know what that means? Does it like just, do you use it and then it reappears again?
Oh, is it like recycled butter?
Made using fully regenerative milk.
Oh, what does that mean?
I'm thinking of recycling milk now.
Yeah, me too.
So just for clarity, this is £2 more compared to that for the same amount, or 1.9 times more.
That's a big difference for butter.
It is, isn't it? But there is a visual difference there. All right, so it's sugar up next. This is some standard caster sugar. £1.49 for a whole kilo bag, so roughly 49 pence when we need 300 grams. But this stuff, oh wow, you can see the color difference there already.
This is the golden caster sugar. You got the good stuff.
So yeah, this is your standard sugar. Like, look how white that is. It's fine. Like, we're going for like proper bog standard chocolate birthday cake here for like your 5-year-old, all right?
Not just a 5-year-old. I like this chocolate cake.
And cakes for everyone, all right? Yeah, I'm just trying to like, because I don't know, you guys have already seen what it looks like.
Oh, you're trying to cover yourself.
So this is the golden one, 500 gram bag, so half the weight for £2.50. So for that amount is £1.50. This is 45p. So that's a £1.5 difference, or 3.3 times more. So this one's definitely winning the pale contest so far, I reckon.
And this one's looking more golden.
Yeah, it's like everything is yellow. It's like Yellowstone.
Isn't that from Yogi Bear, the cartoon?
This wonderland of nature called Jellystone National Park.
As we cream these together, that might make that difference stand out even more, or it might look the same. All right. Wow, yours looks like, I think mine looks fattier.
Yeah, yours looks quite pale.
Yeah, and yours looks sort of subtle and, I don't know.
Dull.
Dull? All right, so this is the cheap self-raising flour, a massive 1.5 kilo bag, 70 pence. But we only need 250 grams, which is 12p. And the steep, does it like feel any different? Does it notice any different?
I feel like it's lighter.
Yeah, well that is self-raising sponge flour. This bag for 1 kilo was £2. So what we poured in there is 50p.
That's almost the same price as the whole bag.
Yeah, so just for that alone, it's 38 pence more, or that is 4.17 times more than just for that amount of flour.
That's the biggest difference so far.
It's crazy, right? Okay, this is the cheap cocoa powder. 55 grams is all we need. I got a box for £2.89, 250 grams, so that is 64p's worth of cocoa powder. That looks quite cool, actually. And Mrs. B's one is £4.10 for 125 grams. So that amount of cocoa powder, which looks very different, oh my gosh, is £1.80. So £1.16 times more, or 2.81 the difference.
I wonder why it's lighter.
Well, all I know is that this one, like the cheap one, it says Dutch processed, whereas this one is more natural. It's something to do with like alkaline and it darkens the color. So this one might actually be like, wow, it's definitely going to be lighter, isn't it?
Well, I hope it's going to still look like a chocolate cake.
Going in this steep supermarket is actually quite fun, and opening our eyes to ingredients that, I don't know, not even the dream to really have them. It's just interesting to see if they make a massive difference,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Nice to have a bit of luxury every now and then.
Yeah, a bit of extravagance, which brings us on to, well,
the eggs.
Yeah. So these budget eggs were 99 pence. They weren't the super cheap ones that you can get we've had before with feathers on it, where the chickens aren't looked after. These are mixed sizes, apparently. Oh my gosh. Well, there's a couple of large ones, there's a small one, and what is that going on there?
That is a very different colour.
16 pence each for these eggs, so those real budget ones were only a couple of pence cheaper, but I just couldn't do it. I wanted to go for these at least. We wouldn't normally get those anyway, and these ones, these organic eggs, are £3.45 or 57 pence each for the eggs.
I can't believe that's how much those eggs were, £3.45.
That's fascinating though, isn't it? It is generally a mixed bag. You don't know what you're going to get.
Do you reckon in the supermarket someone swapped that egg from a different packet just to mess with us?
Yeah, that's actually sounds like quite a fun game. When we retire one day, Mrs. B, we'll go in the supermarket and just do that.
And mix up the eggs.
Yeah. I like to crack eggs with a knife. Oh, and splatter cocoa everywhere. I will say the shell is blooming firm on these. Wow. I'm hoping this random one here has actually got quite a decent yolk on it. Oh my gosh, it's a different colour. Right now, I think it's going to be the flour that might make the biggest difference. But let's get it whisked.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think the
Is this on camera or?
I think it's the eggs that are going to make the biggest difference to this cake.
I mean, still, even though the size
Yeah.
are they're fairly similar, mate.
I think the steep is going to be a deeper sponge. I think it's going to rise more.
And the crazy thing is, you guys possibly already know that. I feel like I'm doing like that sketch from Mr. Bean where he's looking over at the exam at someone else's. Yours is like, what?
Very different in colour.
Mine looks like really fatty brownie batter, like a cake batter. Yours looks like, wow, like a really fancy brownie mix?
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane. That is absolutely bonkers already. Oh, this is cool. Right. All right. I think yours looks so much smoother, and it seemed like it was whisking better.
The cocoa powder's really made a difference in the colour.
All right, so we will be weighing these out off camera to make sure we get it perfectly right. Look, yours is just oozing out. Mine just feels like it needs a little bit of encouragement. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Oh, let's see what happens. Describe the smell in here, Mrs. B.
Chocolatey.
Oh, yes.
It smells good. Oh my gosh, look at the difference on the camera.
That is crazy. Yeah, the camera actually sometimes shows it better, yeah.
Yeah.
That has definitely, I mean, it's both darkened, but I think that's certainly caught up a bit more, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So let's let these cool, yeah?
Yes.
Buttercream. All right, so our buttercream, look, still that same difference. We've just given it a little beat with the whisks again, so it's creamed. We've been there before. That butter, 200 grams, £1.59 for 200 grams of the cheap, £2.95 for the steep, so £1.36 more. Same with the cocoa powder, 58p versus £1.64, £1.06 more or 2.83. But as we can see already, this isn't going to be baked, unfortunately, but it should make quite a difference. Yeah, to be fair, we just tried doing that with a spatula. And yeah, use an electric whisk.
Yeah, it's much easier.
All right, so we got icing sugar here. There is a visual difference there, right?
There is a real difference.
So this is a standard bag of icing sugar, 500 grams, 89p for that 500 grams. We're only using 400 grams, so 71p. Icing sugar, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't realise, I thought, have I accidentally bought fondant icing? This is golden icing sugar here that I've never heard of. So it's the same size, 500 grams as well, but that was £2. So the amount we're using, 400 grams, £1.60. So 2.25 times the price or 89 pence more. So it could, and in fact we can taste this in a minute.
Okay.
It could make a massive difference, like those caramel notes with the chocolate. Do you want that? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
All right, so let's be polite and not get icing sugar everywhere. We'll just do like a little bit at a time. But even this little contrast, look at that. It's so different. We've only just whisked a bit in and there was like a cloud everywhere, but can you smell that?
I can.
Like genuinely, that expensive icing sugar, it's like it smells like burnt caramel or toffee in here.
It does.
I don't know if I kind of like it or not. You right, mate? I didn't get any icing sugar on you, did I? No. It's fair to say, although it's like not the most intense recipe, the last chocolate cake I made in here was the 150-hour chocolate cake. And in a really strange way, because we're making 2 cakes and there's a lot of things to think about, this actually feels like, not as hard, but just like I don't know, you're overthinking something just so simple that's just like, I don't know, simplicity, comfort food that you just want, yeah. Have your cake and eat it in every sense. I think it's best that we try this before it gets sort of blended in with the cake, right?
Yeah. We're going for cheap first?
Yeah. Ooh. That's like classic chocolate frosting.
That's nice.
I wanted to try it in isolation before it sort of like gets blended in with the cake, you know? That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
That is good.
Ooh, wow.
That is really nice.
That is gourmet.
That is good. That one is quite rich and quite
Yeah, like a ready-made tub.
Yeah.
You know, like the stuff in the supermarket that's ready-made, that tastes like that.
That's very good.
This is ridiculous.
It tastes so different and I wasn't sure it would.
Right, let's get it on the cake.
I can't believe the colour difference.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yours looks like more like a coffee cake. It's sort of like this lovely sort of naturalness to it, though. Do you know what, Mrs. B and I feel like we need to do like a bake-off soon. Like, instead of the cheap versus steep, we need to do like a barry-off or something. Oh, I don't know. That still looks like chocolate cake, doesn't it?
Look, they both look like chocolate cake.
Do they? Nah, yours looks like a, I don't know, coffee cake?
A burnt Victoria's sandwich cake.
Yes, good crustage. Yes, mate. I feel like that's a series. Mr. versus Mrs. or something. The barry-off.
Sounds good.
I'll tell you what, Mrs. B, I'm really happy with mine there.
Yours looks all like nice and rustic.
Yep, that's what I'm going for, cheap and cheerful. Yours looks smooth and glamorous. Mine looks rough and ready. I've got some dark chocolate chips. So one bag of 100 grams budget was £1.15. And I got these Guitard San Francisco extra dark chocolate, dairy-free chocolate chips. But they were a really random weight of 326 grams, right? So this bag was £1.15. That bag, £11.50.
No way. I can't believe it.
3 times more the price for chocolate chips. And then we're going to go just grate on a white chocolate bar. This was 99 pence for this budget one. And this slightly upmarket Menier Swiss chocolate, very nice. £2.15, so £1.16 more or 2.17 times more the price. And that's obviously optional, and in a weird way, by doing that, it might make it look similar again. All right, so mine aren't that small when I open the packet, and they're not too bad, but yours are gigantic.
They look massive.
Yeah, they're like chocolate chunks. So there's no art to this, mate. Although with a 150-hour chocolate cake, I just kind of like slapped it on the sides as well.
I want to turn them over and put them all the same way.
Yeah, beautiful.
I can't help it.
All right then, I'm just gonna sprinkle. Oh, that looks actually really, really cool. I'm so glad we've done this.
Oh, I love the contrast of the different colours.
Look, that looks awesome, right?
That does.
I am so hungry now.
Me too.
Before we do, here are the totals. If I had to buy all of the ingredients, the cheap shop would come to £13.08 to make this. The steep, £36.55.
Wow.
Of course, you'd have some leftovers like some butter and sugar, blah, 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 but that's still a difference to make this possible of £23.47. And of course, we've gone extreme. You don't have to have like the craziest dark chocolate chips or whatever. This is the point of this, the extreme. And does it make a difference?
It looks different.
The recipe cost £9.61 to make this.
Okay.
It's a homemade chocolate cake, so you got lots of slices out of it. That's still fairly good.
Yeah.
£23.55. So 2.5 times more in price.
Wow.
So the total extra to make that over that is £13.94. So that better be good.
It better be good.
Trying to get excited about chocolate cake, but there we go. That's all right, isn't it?
That looks amazing.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for like a more delicate slice through it. Could not resist merging them together like this for the ultimate potential combo cake, but of course, let's try them. I tell you what, I am really proud of that. It's like a chocolate cake yin-yang sign.
It is.
Mrs. B's hungry.
I just want cake.
I know, I've kind of gone off chocolate cake now. I was craving it earlier, the smell while it was baking, and now with all this, I'm like, oh, I don't know, I just want some fruit.
Oh, that's all right. I'll have your bit.
Cheat first?
Yes.
After you.
I don't know.
Breathing exercises. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Mmm.
That's incredible.
That's lovely.
That's so good.
It's everything you want in a chocolate cake, isn't it?
Yes.
This could be a massive letdown now.
Right. Go on, you go first.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, the icing is good, but it's blended in with the sponge, which to me, that tastes like a caramel cake.
Doesn't taste very chocolatey. That one, the chocolateness hit you straight away.
I tell you what, just have the sponge on its own, actually.
Oh. That was icing. When you single chocolate cake, that's like, you can really taste the cocoa. It's really...
It's everything. This is so confusing. I don't know where what do we say? I think the fact is that is such a confused cake.
That is definitely more caramelly.
Right, I'm gonna go cheap because it's such a weird combination there, and that first bite done separately, it's blowing me away, but like together, there's something weird going on, and for an unnecessary price increase, meh.
I agree.
Great.
I think you're right.
So cheap?
Cheap.
Yeah, all right.
I don't think we've ever agreed on one, have we?
No, you're normally expensive taste, but I think you've had a bit too much cake, mate. So it's a day later.
And I've got the ultimate combo. Having the cheap cake with the steep icing. is a really good combo. And Boston agrees.